without the real transformation, without the real change, you're not going to be able to naturally, confidently attract women. Because it's like, if your script, if your identity has been battered and you're traumatized and you're low on serotonin and you're disconnected and you feel unhappy and you're not confident, that beautiful woman who's the prize of the world, who billionaires are, it's like, you're naturally, if you're programmed to feel, to believe that, you're going to be acting unworthy of a woman, and then your script is going to kick in when you're talking to that woman, and you're going to be approval seeking in your behavior. Oh, hi, maybe we can go out. So there's no like actual full fucking belief there. So that's the fix, you know? So, and you've got to, what, this is the thing. It's not just go away and work on yourself. You've got to be observant about your script kicking in at all times. So when you look at a beautiful woman, like, why am I craving that? Okay, so I need that, and then why am I acting so approval seeking and so nervous when I'm talking to a woman? My script, which is lodged in and hooked into my entire emotional circuitry, that script has got to change. That's got to go. So you've got to catch yourself in the act and actually see that approval seeking behavior, that need for the mirror, that approve. You know, I really want sex. I really want a woman. Like, and fucking let that go, because that is. You can push and push and push from that motivation, that need for approval, that need for a woman. It's not going to get you there, because women are going for a man who's absolutely not attached to the outcome, and he can say what the fuck he wants, and he's not interested whatsoever. He's interested in the woman, but there's absolutely zero neediness there. The moment he sees behavior that's not right, you're so invested and so interested in what you're doing, literally in real time as well, in a club, day game. You're not going out looking for girls to day game. I'm only going to feel good if I get a number, then I'm going to be in state. Yeah, it's like, you know, hopefully I can get a number, and then I'm going to... No, you've got to be in that club, in that street, on that beach, bathing in your existence, bathing in the fact that you're fucking enjoying in your own company. You know, I'm not interested. It's like, I say not interested. You can be interested in a beautiful woman. Like, you can notice that and be curious about that, but you can't be like, oh, fucking hell, look at that. That would change my life if I got with her. So, okay, now the focus is completely off the being and the enjoyment and the fun. It's like, you should be jumping around. Like, and the thing is, it's kind of ironic, it's kind of paradoxical, because you can't be doing that as a technique. But if you're on the beach and then you go and jump in that sea because you're in a state of excitement and joy, the women are going to be looking at you because you're in your own reality, you're having fun. You do that as a technique, you're screwed, because you're validation seeking. So, you know, you've got to be mindful about all that stuff, all that approval seeking behavior, that hypervigilance, that looking out for approval, that hoping someone likes you, that paranoia that someone just gave you a look of disgust. Now, hang on, I'm not centered. I'm not actually comfortable and present and in my own reality, enjoying in my own existence. The relationship you have with yourself and the emotional state that you're in real time, you check in on yourself, you check in on that by being present. How am I feeling? What am I thinking? Why am I thinking such negative thoughts? Is the most important thing that you can focus on. You know, so you've got to break that negative cycle by all of this stuff I'm talking about. And then, spur of the moment, if you feel that excitable joy, even when you're working on yourself or you're doing therapy, you get that impulse to say hi to a woman. That's part of it. You know, it's like, you shouldn't be going out there like, okay, Dean told me to say hi to her. But if you feel like, as soon as you feel some excitement, breaking that cycle, breaking down that identity, being in the present moment, being more fluid in your identity where you can just access and do things spontaneously, hey. And then choose not to reflect that personally and let your ego kick back in and say, I could have got her, or she wouldn't have liked. Like, you've got to interrupt that flow and be celebrating all the time. So when we go out tonight, it's like fun. You're having fun. When you go for a beach walk tomorrow before you go home, it's like it's full enjoyment. And you know, like, remember that. And there are depths and there are layers to that, and it grows and grows and grows. And when you start to connect more to joy, and not the practice of gratitude, but the emotional state of gratitude, when you can feel that state of gratitude, your confidence starts to grow, your self-esteem starts to grow, and then you start to get that look, you know, that energy that we're talking about. Yeah, just like you feel good and it's coming out and you're